ولا نساء من نساء عسى أن يكن خيرا منهن ولا تلمزوا أنفسكم ولا تنابزوا بالألقاب بئس الاسم الفسوق بعد الإيمان بئس الاسم الفسوق بعد الإيمان ومن لم يتب فأولئك هم الظالمون يا أيها الذين آمنوا اجتنبوا كثيرا من الظن إن بعد الظن إثم ولا تجسسوا ولا يغتب بعضكم بعضا أيحب أحدكم أن يأكل لحم أخيه ميتا فكرهتموه واتقوا الله إن الله تواب رحيم صدق الله العلي العظيم.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Just a few quick announcements before we get started, inshallah. In case you don't know, the children's program is happening, the kids program is happening down the hall tonight for this program as well. Encourage you to take your children there, inshallah. The next event that is happening, the next lecture, the next majlis that is happening here at Sabah is Tuesday night, but that's not going to be in English. The next English majalis is going to happen on Thursday. So if you're looking to specifically attend an English majalis, then Thursday is the night, inshallah, to come. Otherwise, Sabah is going to have a program on Tuesday, I believe in the other languages. But inshallah, you can check the iOS app or Android app we've been talking about to check for the specifics. And finally, tonight is our last night, our last lecture with Sheikh Amin Rastani. If what I've gotten is any indication of what you've gotten, it's been an amazing series. Inshallah, we really appreciate his coming. We really appreciate the time that he spent with us. Inshallah, you can please thank him afterwards as well, personally. But if we can, please, I'd like to all thank him with a loud salawat. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. I'm sure all the work that he's put in, he deserves a better salawat than that. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, inshallah. With that, I'd like to invite up Sheikh Amin Rastani. Please, inshallah, join me. Inshallah, let's get as much as we can from his lecture tonight. Pay attention, please. Inshallah, we're gonna squeeze some more knowledge out of him. Inshallah. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
himself, his rank, Yazid's station. He said that a person like me will never give bay'ah to a person like Yazid. He never said, I will not give bay'ah to Yazid. In other words, he made it a matter of principle. He made it a matter of principle that anyone who wants to be like Imam Hussein alayhi salam, their hand should never be in the hand of a person who is like Yazid. It doesn't matter if you're Hussein, if you're Hassan alayhim as-salam. It doesn't matter if you're ma'soom, if you're non-ma'soom. A Husseini individual is not going to be seen with a Yazidi individual. Maybe there are very few exceptions, but the default is that that's the case. He didn't make it personal. He made it about Islam. That Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't allow this. That's why he said, وَمِثْلِ لَا يُبَايِعْ مِثْلِ Yazid. The likes of me never gives bay'ah to the likes of Yazid. And that's where it all started. The whole movement started with a line like this. When he was summoned by the governor of Medina to renew, or to give, bay'ah to Yazid. Another point that we noticed Imam Hussein kept talking about in the beginning of his movement was his kinship with the Holy Prophet. This gave us a bit of an understanding of the people of that time. That imamat wasn't something as established as it is today. Alhamdulillah, it's been 1400 years from the Shaykh al-Mufids, from the Shaykh al-Tusis, from the companions of the Imams. Till today, this concept of imamat has been worked on. Now we have a very good understanding of it, alhamdulillah. Back then though, the people, they had seen Ghadir. They had seen these things, but apparently they had forgotten, or they didn't even know about it, God knows. That the Imam, to show that what's happening to him is wrong, and that when he is killed the way he was killed, people will come and say, oh, the son of the Prophet was killed. For us, being a son of a Prophet, a brother of an Imam, that stuff is great. But an Imam being killed is the problem. The Shia school looks at it like that. But Imam Hussein has to take it down a notch because people don't understand. So he doesn't talk too much about me being an Imam. People aren't listening to their Imam. And when I'm killed, the problem is that an Imam is killed. He didn't say that. He left no excuse for everybody though. What he did was, he put his finger on something everyone accepted and agreed on, that you don't kill the son of the Prophet. If Imam Hussein's blood is going to be shed, if his blood's going to be shed, it's not going to go in vain. It's not going to be something that, oh, people will be like, later on they'll be like, oh my God, we didn't know that was the case. No. He's not going to leave any excuses. Brothers and sisters, when Shimr is sitting on his chest, according to some accounts, he asks, says, do you not know who I am? In other words, if you're going to finish me off, I'm not going to let my blood go in vain. And later on someone says, oh, it was an accident. We didn't know who he was. We didn't know of his rank. He said, yeah, I know who you are. That's another thing that we notice with Imam Hussein alayhi salam. The next day after he leaves the palace of the governor of Medina that night, the next day he has a conversation with Marwan bin Hakam. Those of you who remember. Marwan bin Hakam tells him, do bay'ah with Yazid. It is better for your deen and your dunya, your akhirah, everything. The point that was made there, brothers and sisters, which was very sad, is that someone can fall that low. And this is something that I personally and all of us inshallah have to be careful about. That slowly and gradually we will fall to a point, or it's possible that we can fall to a point that things are so blurred for us, truth and falsehood is so blurred for us, that we're going to turn back, and inshallah that's not the case with us. But this Marwan, for him, he has reached the point, because of how wretched he's been all his life, how evil he's been all his life, how bad he's been. Let's not even say evil and wretched. How bad he's been. How much he's disobeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's fallen to a point where he thinks that doing bay'ah with Yazid is better for your akhirah. How can someone think like that? That's a question. And I said back then that we don't know. Probably it sounds like he really believes that giving bay'ah to Yazid equals better for deen and dunya. How does someone reach such a point? The greats explain, they say if you sin enough, if you disobey enough, you reach such a point. That's why we have to be careful, inshallah, that we don't sin as much. And of course Allah forgives. Allah forgives. I'm not saying that there's no hope, but we have to be careful, because slowly, if someone doesn't pay attention to this matter, slowly, slowly the lines will become blurry. Right from wrong cannot be distinguished. The Quran says, ثُمَّ كَانَ عَاقِبَةَ الَّذِينَ أَسَاءُوا السُّوءَ أَنْ كَذَّبُوا بِآيَاتِ اللَّهِ. The fate of those who committed bad deeds eventually was that they denied Allah's signs and denied Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is something that the Quran is teaching us. Marwan might be a perfect example of that. So for me personally, this is a lesson that I take, that I might mess up in my life. It's okay. I'll get back up on my feet. But one, I get back up on my feet. Two, I'm not lazy and I just let go. Because once I let go, there is no guarantee anymore. Slowly, 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 the iman deteriorates. One's eye of the heart starts closing. The nur of Allah starts ceasing to exist in the heart. That's the effect of sin. When Salama was speaking to our Imam, she tells him to not go. Tells him, it grieves me that you go, O Hussein. We spoke about her high rank. The Imam said something in return. He said, Inna Allah sha'a an yarani qatila. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to see me die. He wants to see me die. He wishes to see me die. There was a point that was discussed there. And the reason why I'm going over all of this now is because I'm pretty sure most of the brothers and sisters who were here throughout the series are here tonight. Because tonight isn't as big as last night or the night before. So I want to repeat this so that it is instilled within us, inshallah. There was a question that some might ask here. They say, what does it mean that God wants to see me die? Is God that evil? Is that, na'udhu billah? Is God that problematic that He wants to see someone, He wants to see one of His greatest awliya die? It was explained that no. God, when He wishes things or wills things, He has two ways of willing them. If He really wills something with that specific type of will that has to do with creating, there is no choice for us. If He wants to create something, He creates it. He wills it, it happens. Sometimes though, because of the good things that are entailed by an action, He wills it for us. In other words, He wants us to do it so we get all the good stuff that comes out of that thing. In the case of Imam Hussein alayhi salam, Allah wants to see him die. It means that Allah sees the good that will happen in this, which is the saving of Islam in a sense. And so the same way, for example, He wants salat for us. He wishes salat for us. And it's on us to actually fulfill that command of His and that desire of His. That same way He wills for Imam Hussein to die, to be killed on this path. Why? Does God have problems? No, we said that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is after something here, a greater good, and He will compensate for that to Imam Hussein. He will reward Imam Hussein. But at the end of the day, the same way me and you can pray and we can not pray, although Allah has wished it for us, that same way Imam Hussein can go to Karbala and he can not go to Karbala. Allah wishes that though, he does go to Karbala. Why? Because the fate of Islam and the future of Islam lies in him going to Karbala. So Imam Hussein alayhi salam, who is in love with Allah, says, I'll fulfill this wish and will of Allah. So it wasn't something that was forced. And it's not something that Allah wanted firstly and primarily. There was no other choice. If there's no other way to save Islam, then Allah will want this. It's the people's fault. It's not Allah's fault that it came down to this. In his will to his brother Muhammad bin Hanafiya, he says, I am not leaving for mischief and arrogance and oppression. But what am I leaving for, he says? He says, I'm leaving for talab al-islah fi ummati jaddi. I'm trying to fix things up. This is where we said that there was more to it than just Imam Hussein not giving bay'ah to Yazid. Some people might think the whole story of Ashura took place just because he didn't want to give bay'ah to Yazid. No. The only way I can fix the ummah of the Prophet is that I stand. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. So it's not anger, mischief, oppression, arrogance. No, none of that is involved here. Allah's satisfaction lies in this, and I'm going to be doing it. Recite a salawat, please. Some people might say here, but one of the conditions of Amrul bil Ma'ruf, Nahi anil Munkar, enjoining good, forbidding evil, making things better, is that it's going to have an effect. And that is true. It has to have an effect. Some might say, well, with Imam Hussein alayhi salam, it didn't have an effect. We had that hadith where Imam as-Sajjad is asked this question. Someone asks after he returns from Karbala, who was victorious? You went with Hussein, you came back without Hussein. Who won? Who was victorious? The Imam says, Adhin thumma aqim. Go say adhan and iqama, you'll know who was victorious. This was the bigger picture. The fact that he's going to say adhan, you have tawheed in there, you have nubuwwah in there. In other words, the greater picture was Islam, and that was secured. When the Imam is leaving Mecca to go leaving Medina to go for Mecca, he wants to take a route. Someone told the Imam, why don't you take the main route? Or the non-main route. Take the route that people don't really take that much, so that you're protected more. What did Imam Hussein say? Imam Hussein said, my movement is a movement with a specific purpose. I know that death is going to be somewhere there. Allah knows best. So I'm not going to hide from death. While on the other hand, we had Abdullah bin Zubayr who took the route that no one would take. Why? He wanted to protect himself. Once again, that which is echoed in our ears is that this movement was a movement of principle. It's about principle, not personal. Let me protect myself. No. Another one of those encounters Imam Hussein has in Mecca is with Abdullah bin Umar. Abdullah, the son of the second Khalifa, Umar ibn al-Khattab. What we have there is that Abdullah bin Umar tells Imam Hussein, I know that the Prophet has told me that you will be killed. You will be killed in a land in Iraq. Okay, I know that. But then he tells Imam Hussein, please don't go, and sheds tears for Imam Hussein when Imam Hussein says, I am going to go. What we got out of all of this, and other things that Abdullah bin Umar told the Imam, like, spare the bloodshed of the people. Don't go, because if you go, blood will be shed. What we got out of all of this that we need to keep in mind today is that insight that this individual, the Shia school of thought, believes he lacked. Insight, meaning seeing the circumstances, knowing what the future is going to be like if things continue the way they are going. So he's worried about the bloodshed of the people. True. Blood will be shed in Karbala at least. At least 72 will be killed. True. But they're trying to get in the way of much more bloodshed in the future. Some people live only in the now. Inshallah, we're not like that. That we only see now. This person will only see now and will forget that, okay, 2 days later, what does it look like? And of course, the greatest loss and the greatest mistake is living the now and forgetting about akhirah. But this individual lacks that insight. That Islam is in danger. Okay, if Islam is in danger, then okay, who cares what's going to happen? We have a verse in the Quran that you feel like Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is angry. Because the Christians say that Masih is the son of Allah, is the son of God. They say this. Allah in the Quran says, what if I was to destroy Prophet Isa and everybody? Oh, they're talking about he's God and not, is he not, whatever. What if I'm to destroy everybody, including the Prophet Isa? Subhanallah. That tone of Allah there is you feel like there's anger and wrath there. In other words, you're discussing this issue, but it's so deep that it can equal to everything being destroyed. Same thing here. You're worried about, okay, bloodshed, this, that. Okay, true, of course, no one likes bloodshed. But what if this is going to happen, but it's going to get in the way of so much other problems, so many other problems, to the extent that it might even get in the way of wrath of Allah coming for everybody because Islam is being destroyed. You had that lack of insight. Another thing that we found out, that we learned from what Abdullah bin Umar said, he told Imam Hussein, I have been told by the Prophet, because he was a companion of the Prophet, right? That you will be killed in a land in Iraq, and those who don't help you will become dhaleel and will suffer from dhillah, lowliness, abasement, or abaseness, whatever the infinitive of it is. He said this to the Imam. Okay, if you know that the Prophet said this, then you should be aiding, right? Because you're the one who's quote unquote teaching Imam Hussein what the Prophet said. He says, I know you're going to be killed. The Prophet told me, and those who don't help you are going to be in big trouble. Okay, then why aren't you helping? And we see that when you don't act upon what you know, brothers and sisters, if I don't act upon what I know, not only will Allah not give me more knowledge, but I will suffer. Sometimes even because Allah loves me, He makes sure I pay the price here, before I leave this world. So what happened? Abdullah bin Umar says that they will be lowly. Years later, this same Abdullah bin Umar, he becomes very low, according to those accounts that I read for you previous nights, that he gives bay'ah to the foot of Hajjaj bin Yusuf. Bay'ah to the foot. Hajjaj is there on behalf of Hisham ibn Abdul Malik, the Marwani Khalifa. They say Abdullah bin Umar comes at night time to give him bay'ah. And Hajjaj says, I know what you're here for. What are you here for? This time at night. He says, I'm here to give bay'ah. He says, you just come tomorrow then. He says, no. I wanted to make sure that I am not one of those who dies a death of Jahiliyyah. I want to make sure I'm not one of those, because the Prophet said, Shia, Sunni have all narrated this, if you die without knowing and acknowledging the Imam of your time, you die a death of not Islam. You will have a label on you, he's not Muslim. Alright, so I have to make sure I come at night time to give bay'ah. Of course he was fearing for his life that he did that. And eventually this Hajjaj says, alright fine, you don't deserve to give bay'ah to my hand. Give bay'ah to my foot. And that's what they say happens. So what we learn is also that, hey, if I know something for a fact, I better be careful. Because if I don't, I might have to pay the price right here. And the flip side holds too. If I know something and I act upon it, Allah gives me more. Ayatollah Bahjat always would say this. That they would knock on his door, please give us advice, spiritual advice, akhlaqi advice. He says, if you act upon that which you know, Allah will give you the knowledge of that which you don't know. And you need to know. So both sides work. As I always say, life is a treadmill. I said this last night. You're either on this side or you're on that side. There is no in between. Either you act upon what you know or you don't act upon what you know. If you act upon it, you get more good. You don't act upon it, you just keep going down. To the point that some will reach that point. Inshallah, we're not like that. But some might reach that point where they just turn away from Allah. For people who are mourners of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, who are followers of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, who love the Ahlul Bayt, inshallah that's never going to happen. And the shafa'ah will encompass them. But it's something to always have on the back of our minds and be careful about. Recite another salawat. So Abdullah bin Umar, if he knows this is going to happen, instead of trying to stop the Imam from going, if he knows this is going to happen, he should, instead of trying to stop the Imam, he should be trying to figure out what his responsibility is. This is so important, brothers and sisters. That if I know what's going to be happening, if I know something has to happen, let me figure out what my responsibility is in that. For example, the program has to go on. Ashura, Muharram, Ramadan, I have to help out. Figure out what my job is. Figure out what my responsibility is. Instead of imposing, for example, myself, just giving an example. These are just examples. I don't have anything specific in mind. Imposing myself and taking on a task that, if I had really thought about it more, that task doesn't belong to me. The programs have to happen. So let me figure out exactly what I can do. Sometimes the best thing I can do is just not do anything, maybe. Sometimes it's like that. But what's important is, if something is happening, let me figure out what my responsibility is instead of changing things around. Abdullah bin Umar, come on. The Prophet has told you. The Prophet has told you this is going to happen. Instead of trying to change it, let's figure out what your responsibility is. And you're telling the Imam what your responsibility is. It's to aid the Imam, or else you'll be in trouble. In a letter that the Imam wrote to the Bani Hashim in Mecca, he says to the Bani Hashim that remained in Medina and had not come to Mecca with him, he makes sure to leave no excuse. So he says, anyone who comes with me will become shaheed. Anyone who does not join me will never taste victory. Imam Hussein played with words a little bit very nicely here. And that was a point that we saw. It's not always that life equals success and victory and death equals defeat. No. And the same thing, if you want to scale it down a little bit, those who have it going good in life, it's going to always be a blessing and good and victory. And those who don't have it going good necessarily, for them it's defeat and loss. Not always. Imam Hussein teaches us upholding your responsibility, fulfilling what you have to do, that's what counts. That's why he puts on one side, he puts shahada and death. On the other side, he puts victory and absence of victory. He puts these two. So for us to figure out that, oh, it's not always that victory equals life. No. And a letter that he wrote to the people of Basra, he says in that letter the same things almost that he had written to the people in Kufa. He's asking them to come help. What we learned there was, brothers and sisters, sometimes the ones who are on the side of falsehood are working harder than those that are staying on the truth side, the true side, the side of truth. What happened? What was the story there that we want to learn from? Is that, look, Muawiyah or his henchmen or the ones who came after him, like Ubaidullah bin Ziyad, they didn't give up. They worked so hard. And you're pretty sure that these people knew there's an akhirah. And they knew that there's something coming. And they knew that the Prophet and his household are very high individuals. I don't know what was going on in their minds. But at the end of the day, whatever was going on in their minds, they're working hard for this life. It doesn't matter, truth or falsehood, whatever it is, as long as it's this life. What happened? What happened was, Ubaidullah, he was in Basra. The letter of Imam Hussein came to Basra. And a letter came from Yazid, from Sham. Yazid had found out that his governor in Medina, he's being a little flexible and showing leniency to Imam Hussein. Not getting bay'ah from him, letting him go. So what did he do? Oh, excuse me, not Medina, in Kufa, excuse me. His governor in Kufa, Nu'man bin Bashir. So what Yazid does, he says, Ubaidullah, I want you to go take care of business in Kufa. When he got this letter, guys, he did not wait. He said, get ready, let's go. The only reason he waited a little bit was to make sure that he first executes the bearer of the letter from Imam Hussein to Basra. He made sure he took care of business there, and he said, let's get going. No one could stop him. He went. As a matter of fact, he was about to be killed in Kufa if people knew that it's him. He came in at night, undercover, face covered, with a black turban, they say. People thought it's Imam Hussein who came. If they knew from the start that it's him coming in with a few people, like 10, 20 people maybe, not a huge entourage. If people knew, they might have attacked him and killed him. He put his life in danger. Wow. To do what? To kill Muslim Aqil. And to take over Kufa again, to take the reins in his hands. So what do we learn from this, brothers and sisters? Wow, the same thing that Imam Ali told his people, that look at Muawiyah and his people, they are stronger and more steadfast when it comes to their false cause than us and our true cause. Brothers and sisters, I'm speaking to myself now. Got to work harder. We don't have free time anymore. Either I'm studying hard. I said this a few nights ago or maybe last night. We either are working hard to make halal living, studying hard so that later in the future we can make a halal living, or getting into business to make a halal living, whatever it is. I'm either doing that, or I'm have some recreation so that I can work hard and study hard. Other than that, I can't be like, oh, I'm bored. That's not something the Shia, inshallah, today we're not going to say anymore. I'm bored. I have nothing to do. I have nothing better to do. Recreation is awesome. It's good. It's necessary. And we're going to have that, for sure. That's part of life. Imam Ali says that you have to have some time for recreation in your day. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit there and just be like, I have nothing to do. I'm bored. No. We have a lot of work to do, brothers and sisters. Learn about the religion and spread it. Be a medium for the imams. Be a be a voice for the imams. Spread the message, this beautiful message. The enemies of Islam, they figured it out. The message of Islam is so beautiful that maybe in the next 10, 20 years it would have taken over the world. But then they made up these extremists to give a bad image to Islam. I don't know how long the extremists will last. The point I'm trying to make is this message is a message that if you leave it and let it do its work, it'll take over. So why not us be part of that? By learning and teaching. Do I have extra time? Not really, not anymore. Such an influx of information. We can learn so much about Islam now. We have access to people who are well versed in Islam. Make the most of that, inshallah. That's a lesson we get from the letter that went to Basra and that messenger that was killed. And we learned a lesson from Ubaidullah bin Ziyad. He did not wait, he left. If he had left a little bit later, who knows, maybe Ashura wouldn't have happened. Maybe Muslim would have taken over Kufa. In a response to the letter of the Kufans, Imam Hussein, he says that I'm coming, be ready. I'm sending Muslim bin Aqil. If he tells me that everything is ready there for me, I'm coming. The question came up that Imam Hussein, didn't you know that the Kufans will betray you? A whole discussion opened up there. I'm just going to give it in a nutshell here. Imam Hussein, don't you know they're going to betray you? Why are you going to Kufa? Well, number one, we said that Imam Hussein sent Muslim first. He did what every normal person would do. He sent his most trusted deputy to Kufa to make sure everything's right. Then he'll make a move and mobilize towards Kufa. He sent Muslim. Muslim said, yeah, everything's ready, come. And that's why he started going. 1. 2, let's say that he knows they're going to betray him. Brothers and sisters, there was a good point that was made, I felt, that night when we discussed this. If Imam Hussein has received 12 to 18,000 letters that please come, we're ready, all of us are ready, and he doesn't go still, and Islam is destroyed eventually, what are everyone going to say? They're going to say, if Imam Hussein had come, we would have had a leader and we would have taken care of business and Islam would have been saved. It's Imam Hussein's fault that he didn't come. And you see throughout history similar cases like this, that the Imams know. The Prophet, I related this hadith that night. The Prophet, the Shia school believes he had problems with some of his companions. Yet he didn't do anything about it. Why? They asked him, he said, because if I start doing things to my own companions, what will the people say? Look at Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and what he's doing to his own companions. He's killing his own companions. Getting rid of his own companions. What kind of religion is this? Sometimes circumstances dictate certain things that even the Imams or the Prophet has to give in to. This is a reality. This was discussed. Another thing that the Imam said, I'm just trying to be selective because I'm running out of time. When they tell him, Ibn Abbas tells him, don't go, he says, I have to go. Then Ibn Abbas tells him, then why are you taking the women and children? Another good point that was made there. These points don't belong to me. I'm just as I said, I'm just a channel as well. Our greats have thought of these things. Another great point that was made there was that the Imam, he responds to Ibn Abbas that he says, I have to go and the women and children have to go too. And Allah wants to see them taken prisoner. The question was why? The answer was because in these prisoners you have a lady by Zainab al-Kubra, a reflection of Amir al-Mu'mineen. It's as if Imam Hussein wants to go and do part of the job, which is his shahada, his martyrdom, in that way, so that his women and children become prisoner and they're taken all the way to the heart of the enemy, which is Sham, and to start the damage from there. Imam Hussein alayhi salam, no matter how much he wanted to, he wouldn't have been able to go to Sham to fight and destroy Yazid and Bani Umayyah from within. He wouldn't have been able to. They didn't let him even go to Karbala and Kufa. They didn't let him go to Kufa, let alone go all the way to Sham. No, that's a job for Lady Zainab to do. This beast has to be destroyed from within. He sent Lady Zainab there. And from before Yazid even sends them back towards Medina, the problems begin for Yazid. That was one of the philosophies, one of the reasons why Imam Hussein had to take the women and children. When he sees Farazdak on his way out of Mecca, Farazdak, the famous poet, he tells Farazdak, how do you see the people of Iraq? You're coming from Iraq. How do you see it? He says, their hearts are with you, their swords are against you. We talked about this these past few nights. That just because I have love of Imam Hussein alayhi salam doesn't mean I'm set. I have to make sure that this love is more than everything else. And alhamdulillah, it is with our brothers and sisters and with our youth. Because of all the efforts the brothers and sisters make for these programs, for these majalis, the message of Imam Hussein and the love of Imam Hussein is super powerful, alhamdulillah, now in the hearts of the mu'mineen. And it can't be turned off, it can't be extinguished, alhamdulillah. But we have to be careful that we don't let the love of other things grow so much to the extent that it might ever compromise our love for Imam Hussein. Farazdak said, their hearts are with you, their swords are against you. This only happens when you have a second love as well, that you love more than the first love. And last night we spoke about this, that love they had was love of dunya. Having a good time, taking pleasure in life and the good things life has to offer, and the adornments of life that the Quran calls, that Allah has created for the believers, He says in the Quran. And not only He says for the believers, He says for all people. أَخْرَجَهُ لِلنَّاسِ. It's for all people. Taking pleasure in all of that is perfectly fine. As long as it doesn't compromise my akhirah, it's all good. We spoke about this last night. The last thing that I want to talk about is that we also have to be careful, inshallah. You see how many lessons we were able to take from this, and this is just skipping some too. Is that meeting that Imam Hussein had with Ubaidullah bin Hurr al-Ju'fi. That is so scary for me personally. Why? Because the Imam comes to his tent and tells him, I want you to come with me to Karbala. What does Ubaidullah say? He says, I'll give you everything I have. Everything. Just spare me my life. I'll give you my horse, which is like the best war horse ever. I'll give you my sword. All of that. Imam Hussein says, no. When it comes to Allah, when it comes to Prophet, when it comes to Ahlul Bayt, we're after one thing. We want you. We want you. Now in this case, it's through shahada that you're going to turn to gold, so to speak. We want to turn you to gold. It's through shahada that you will turn to gold. In our case, brothers and sisters, who after Imam Hussein has done what he's done for our sake, for us, they want us. How? Through me at least being able to stop in the face of those pleasures that Allah does not want me to have. To stand against those desires that are illegitimate sometimes. That's all. And then slowly, inshallah, we turn to gold. Yes, some people's tests are harder than others. The ones that are harder than others, they turn to gold sooner. Yeah, the shuhada in the Iran-Saddam war. Imam Khomeini would say that these individuals who become shaheed, they've traversed a path of 100 years in one night. Because the test is harder. This is your life. But for those who are not given that opportunity, are not in certain circumstances that happens, that a big test befalls them and they make the right decision, turn to gold right away, for these individuals, that 100-year path, so to speak, is a path at the end of the day. Slowly I'll build myself. That's what they want from us, nothing else. But they want that from us. So, conclusion. If I am even spending in the way of Allah, if I am giving in the way of Allah, all of that is very good. That's part of taqwa. That's part of the good deeds that will add to us. But we have to understand the main thing that they want from us is me, myself. Am I willing to step on those desires that I know I'm not supposed to satisfy? This is where it all narrows down to, it seems. And Abu Abdullah al-Hussein teaches us that on Ashura, he washes us of that love that we might have, that extra attachment that people might have to this dunya. He says, hey, look at me. I gave everything in Allah's way. I gave everything from the best of my friends to the most beloved of my family to the most innocent and weakest of my children. I gave it all to teach us that if you want to become gold, it's not going to be easy. So brothers and sisters, we all have trials, we all have tribulations, we all have it hard sometimes. In the end though, we remember Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam, things become easy. Inshallah, in Farsi we say the first 100 years are hard in this life. That means inshallah on the other side everything will be compensated for. We have to hang in there. Life is all about hanging in there. I thank the brothers and sisters involved in organizing these programs, making them flow the way they did, almost seamlessly. Alhamdulillah, may Allah reward them, and the brothers and sisters who came and tolerated me these nights, I thank them as well. Of course, there are different styles of lecturing, there are different styles of speaking. I might have my own way. If I spoke in any way that might have been misunderstood or seen as offensive, I apologize. Inshallah, you forgive me. Inshallah, you keep me in your du'as. I need your du'as. Just know this, that I have the best of intentions. If I do anything, I might do it wrong, but really, 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 I'm just after being as beneficial as I can. That's all. Inshallah, keep me in your du'as. We're going to go to Karbala one last time and remember Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. Recite salawat. Assalamu alayka ya Abu Abdullah. Brothers and sisters, they did what they did. Who would have ever thought during the Prophet's time that a day would come, the hands of humanity can be stained with such a tragedy, with the blood of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein alayhi salam. But it happened. The unthinkable took place. The head of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein went atop the spears. Before the eyes of Lady Zainab, before the eyes of the family of Hussein, God knows those last moments of Abu Abdullah as he looks towards the tents, he knows that the women and children are going to be attacked after that. It's very heart-wrenching. The tests that Allah put Imam Hussein through in those final moments. Let's not call them tests. The responsibilities that Allah put on his shoulder in those final moments, because no one else can bear those responsibilities and the burden of those responsibilities. That only Imam Hussein can go through such tragedies and not break and not give in and still be patient. Ya Abu Abdullah, how could you look at the tents as they're sitting on your chest, as they're finishing you off? God knows that this might have been the thing that was in his mind. Who's going to take care of the women and children after me? But before they finished the job of Hussein, there was another tragedy that befell Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. As you remember, I said a few nights ago, Abu Abdullah has a soft spot for orphans. If he let Qasim ibn al-Hasan go to the battlefield, he didn't even tell him, I give you permission. He just said, I'm bidding you farewell. Come, let's hug and let me bid you farewell. It was hard for him to let this orphan of Al-Hasan go. But then there's another orphan of Al-Hasan in Karbala by the name of Abdullah ibn al-Hasan. As Abu Abdullah is in those final moments, Allah says, I'm going to put you through another hardship. Oh Abu Abdullah, Ya Abu Abdullah, are you ready? This Abdullah loves his uncle very much. Maybe the night before, Qasim had come to his tent and told his brother that, oh brother Abdullah, I'm going to become shaheed tomorrow. I'm going to see my father tomorrow, Al-Hasan alayhi salam. Maybe Abdullah in his mind is thinking, oh, what a good opportunity for me to go too as well. But on Ashura, as things unfold, Abu Abdullah falls to the ground. There is no time left for me to go get permission from my master Abu Abdullah. So Lady Zainab, they say, is holding his hand. And Abdullah is watching. He breaks free from Lady Zainab and runs to Abu Abdullah. He sees one of the enemy come with his sword raising to kill Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. Abdullah comes in the way to protect his uncle. This little arm of his, he raises it to block this sword. As it comes down, it severs the hand of Abdullah. Abu al-Fadl al-Abbas can take the hands being severed. Not a little child that's an orphan all his life. This child falls into the lap of Abu Abdullah. Abu Abdullah has already gone through so much suffering. All he can say to Abdullah is, be patient, your time is coming too. That's when they say Harmala sends an arrow towards Abdullah and finishes Abdullah in the lap of Abu Abdullah. Ya Allah, how much suffering for Imam Hussein. How much does he have to go through for these people? They come and they sever the head of Abu Abdullah. His head goes on the spears. Lady Zainab now, she is as if she is the Abbas of the tents. It's as if she is the Ali al-Akbar of the tents. There's only one male remaining, as Sajjad, but he's too weak. What do we do? Oh Sajjad, alaykunna bil firar. Run around, spread out so they can't do anything to you. There was a trench around the tents of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein throughout the day. These trenches were set ablaze. They were on fire so the enemy wouldn't come from behind. It's very hot outside. There are thorns. These children spread out and run for their lives. The horses are coming now. Everything is hot. Everyone is thirsty. These champions who've killed Abu Abdullah, these coward champions, are making their way in. Think about it, brothers and sisters. Throughout the day, there was Ali al-Akbar protecting. There was Abbas protecting. These enemies are waiting. They want a chance to go for the women and children. They're afraid to go. But now, think about what happens when they know there's no Abbas or Hussein. They attack these children and women. Jewelry is being torn off. Anklets are being torn off and kids are falling to the ground. Children are being trampled. There's one account that says one of these children got stuck. He didn't know where to go. One of these monsters passes by and cuts him in half. They don't know what they want. They just want to get to the tents of Abu Abdullah al-Hussein. These women and children thought they'd be protected. No. Don't you see that Abbas's head is on the spears? As night approaches, Lady Zainab has to gather these children. She's doing a head count. They say she notices that 2 are missing. 2 are missing. She says, go find these 2 children. They go looking and eventually find 2 kids who have hugged each other and have died because of fear in the bushes somewhere. God knows how many children died after Abu Abdullah fell to the ground. So much happened on Ashura that's not recorded. Oh Allah, we were not worthy to know. But there's a tragedy. There's a tragedy that overshadows all tragedies on Ashura after Hussein. As Lady Zainab is watching out for children, as women are running back and forth, as you can hear screams and shouts from the women and also the enemy, as you can smell the smoke from the tents, as the fires go up into the sky, you hear something from Umar ibn Sa'd. Sometimes you want to kill someone. Sometimes you want to break someone. They hear all of a sudden Umar ibn Sa'd. Is there anyone to trample the body of Hussein? There are 10. They change the hooves of their horses. They replace the hooves of their horses with new hooves, with new horseshoes. These new horseshoes now can beat and break and tear apart whatever they come into contact with. After has already been killed. They trampled the body so much. When you go to Karbala, you find that the death place of Abu Abdullah is different than where he is buried. They trampled this body. This body is dragged headless from where it was killed all the way to where he is buried today. Lady Zainab has enough going on. What is that the people can hear? There is a noise that later we find out what that noise was. When these monsters in the presence of Ubaydullah, they make their reports to Ubaydullah ibn Ziyad. They say, Radadna sadr wallah. We trampled the front and the back of Abu Abdullah. Brothers and sisters, it is no joke. The hooves of horses crush whatever they are under. Abu Abdullah's body, they say, was spread out across the land of Karbala. Hussein's caravan is leaving Karbala. Here they will lay the lovers of Allah. This land is filled with the blood of Hussein. The screams are Lady Zainab. The sky will fill. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Al-Ali al-Azim. وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون. Ya Allah, do not let this be our last Muharram. Do not let this be the last time we lament for Abu Abdullah. At the same time, help us to keep our Master satisfied of us.
Please stay seated. Tonight there's an empty crib. From now there will be no rest. Sakina's lost, her ears bleed. She has found Hussein's chest. Tonight there's an empty crib. From now there will be no rest. Sakina's lost, her ears bleed. She has found Hussein's chest. The cursed come, the shuhada they count. They're missing one, they stab the ground. In infant's blood, Asghar is found. Asghar is found. They loot the camp, they burn the tents, they snatch our scarves. Oh, how could they? We need our Alamdar. Abbas is gone, Abbas is gone. Tonight there's an empty crib. From now there will be no rest. Sakina's lost, her ears bleed. She has found Hussein's chest. Oh Sakina, it's been 3 days. Come have this bread, there is water. Oh Sakina, it's been 3 days. Come have this bread, there is water. Where is it from? Has uncle come? Abbas is gone, Abbas is gone. Auntie wait, Asghar is first. Auntie wait, Asghar is first. He is the youngest one. Asghar is gone, Asghar is gone. Tonight there's an empty crib. From now there will be no rest. Sakina's lost, her ears bleed. She has found Hussein's chest. A soldier sees a small girl, the orphan of Al-Hussein. He sees her earrings, he rips them off. He wants a slave, he'd have her as one. Sakina run, Sakina run. Zainab protect As-Sanjad. Zainab counted the children. Zainab is missing one. Searching, searching, Zainab sees. Sakina's found, Sakina's found. Oh Sakina, whose is this body? Oh Sakina, whose is this body? This is my father, please let me sleep. He called to me, he called to me. Tonight there's an empty crib. From now there will be no rest. Sakina's lost, her ears bleed. She has found Hussein's chest. Ya Hussein.
شام غریبان 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 How quickly night has descended on us. How quickly night has descended on us. How quickly darkness has come upon us. How quickly darkness has come upon us. All those men have descended upon us. All those men have descended upon us. Where are all those that want to protect us? Where are you, Habib, Muslim and Abbas? Where are you, Habib, Muslim and Abbas? Oh Allah, help this haram. 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 Oh Allah, help this everyone. Oh Allah, help this haram. Oh Allah, help this haram. Oh Allah, help this haram. Oh Allah. Oh Allah, help this haram. Sham Ghariban, Sham Ghariban, Sham Ghariban. Everyone, Sham Ghariban. Tonight is the night of sadness. Sham Ghariban, Sham Ghariban, Sham Ghariban. Cry for Zainab tonight. Sham Ghariban, Sham Ghariban. How quickly safety has turned to terror. How quickly safety has turned to terror. See how we've become defenseless here. See how we've become defenseless here. They have completed killing my brothers. They have completed killing my brothers. Now they have turned, they are coming here. Now they have turned, they are coming here. Oh Allah, help this haram. Oh Allah, help this haram. Oh Allah. Oh Allah. help this haram. Oh Allah, 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 help this haram. Oh Allah. Sham gariba, Sham gariba, Sham garib jana, Sham gariba, Sham gariba. Sham gariban, Sham gariban, Sham gariban. Oh Father, they have attacked your honor. Oh Father, they have attacked your honor. Where are you, Lion of Allah of valor? Where are you, Lion of Allah of valor? Cruel soldiers are pulling our hijab. Cruel soldiers are pulling our hijab. Oh Father, see how exposed your Zainab. Oh Father, see how exposed your Zainab. Oh Allah, help this haram. 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 Sham gariban, Sham gariban, Sham gariban, Sham gariban, Sham gariban. Sham gariban, Sham gariban, Sham gariban, Sham gariban. My brother Hassan, where are you to see? My brother Hassan, where are you to see? All the horrors that have surrounded me, all the horrors that have surrounded me. On the spear flower, the head of Qasim. On the spear flower, the head of Qasim. On the spear flower, the head of Asqar. On the spear flower, the head of Asqar. Oh Allah, help this haram. 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 Oh Allah, help this. Sham gariba, Sham gariba, Sham gariba, Sham gariba. Sham gariban, Sham gariban. Sham gariban. Ya Rasulallah, witness how they have. Ya Rasulallah, witness how. Ya Rasulallah, witness how they have paraded us in the market of Sham. Paraded us in the market of Sham. This one is trying to buy off Kulthum. This one is trying to buy off Kulthum. This one is trying to buy off Kulthum. That one is bidding on Robab in the state. That one is bidding on Robab in the state. Others throwing donations at Ahlul Bayt. Others throwing donations at Ahlul Bayt. Others throwing donations at Ahlul Bayt. Oh Allah, help this haram. 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 Sham gariba, Sham gariba, Sham gariba. Do I know how to do it? Sham gariba,
Sham غريبا شام غريبا في التفوف تسمى زينب للعين في التفوف تسمى زينب للعين وتنادي أين أنت يا معيني وحسينا زينب حسينا وحسينا وحسينا في التفوف تسمى زينب للعين وتنادي أين أنت يا معيني وحسينا وحسين وحسينا. When in Karbala the soldiers of Yazid shackled Zainab. When in Karbala the soldiers of Yazid shackled Zainab. Choking back her tears she cried out in pain, where are you Hussein? Where are you Hussein? Wa Habiba wa Habiba wa Husayna Sant وحسينا في التفوف تسبى زينب للعين وتنادي أين أنت يا معيني وحسين وحسينا Husayna, by your body lay, trampled and slain, lifeless on the sand. By your body lay, trampled and slain, lifeless on the sand. And your holy head thrust atop a spear, severed by Shimmer's hand, severed by Shimmer's hand. Wa qatila, wa qatila, wa qatila, wa Hussein, وحسينا في التفوف تسبى زينب للعين وتنادي أين أنت يا معيني وحسين Husayna, you gave everything in a strange land to bring back true Islam. You gave everything in a strange land to bring back true Islam. Your Quran in red, we who heed your call will never be misled, will never be misled. Wa ghariba, wa Husayna ahsant. وحسينا في التفوف إناب للعين وتنادي أين أنت يا معيني Husayna, centuries away, even here today, your sacrifice lives on. Centuries away, even here today, your sacrifice lives on. Your light revives our hearts and guides us to your path. We're with you, O Imam. We're with you, O Imam. Wa Imama, wa Imama, wa Husayna. في التفوف للعين وتنادي يا معيني وحسينا وحسينا صلوا على محمد وآل محمد. صل على محمد.
السلام عليك يا رسول الله. السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين. السلام عليك يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدتي نساء العالمين. السلام عليك يا حسن المجتبى. السلام عليك يا أبا عبد الله وعلى الأرواح التي حلت بفنائك. عليك مني جميعا سلام الله أبدا ما بقيت وبقي الليل والنهار، ولا جعله الله آخر العهد مني لزيارتكم. السلام على الحسين وعلى علي بن الحسين وعلى أولاد الحسين وعلى أصحاب الحسين. السلام على أخيك أبي الفضل العباس وأختك الزينب أم المصائب. السلام على 9 المعصومين من ولد الحسين. السلام عليك يا مولانا يا صاحب الزمان. الأمان 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 من فتن الزمان. عجل الله تعالى فرجك وسهل الله تعالى مخرجك، وجعلنا من أنصارك وأعوانك والمستشهدين بين يديك. السلام عليكم أئمتي جميعا ورحمة الله وبركاته.